Well, I guess we'll have to go ahead and move along since it's now 4:01. We don't really have anyone at all present today, but we'll go ahead and call the March 16th meeting of the HPC to order. First item on the agenda is the consent agenda from the previous meeting. Do we have a motion to accept it as submitted?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Okay, that part is finished. We can launch into our huge load of new business here. First up is 1450 Rivermont Avenue. Doesn't appear that we have anybody that's in attendance to represent that property, but if there's a motion to go ahead and discuss it, we certainly can.
Make a motion that we discuss it.
All right.
We need a second for that?
Probably, I guess, just to be
I'll
sure.
second that.
Sure. Okay, well, the project is open for discussion. We're looking at gutters, I believe.
Yeah, I think the
Sidewalking.
concrete, we can approve it, but the gutters, do we know what's there?
It looked, as best I can tell, there's, well, I don't know. There's no downspouts for sure. It looks like there may be
Mhm.
some gutters.
Definitely looks like it's tilting back, like there would be a gutter behind that profile.
It looks like it's probably, yeah, it's probably
Right.
hidden gutters, right? Can, I mean, can we approve part of it? And, I mean, I think we need a little more information on the gutters. Yeah, the types of gutters and downspouts were not specified.
Correct.
So,
I thought, maybe I'm confused. I thought she said 3-inch and 6-inch, or 4-inch and 6-inch.
and if they're hidden, then,
It's just a-
Missing downspouts and gutters.
you know, we don't know where any of that is.
The downspouts, she kind of penciled in on one of the last pages.
Correct.
Yeah, that one, you can kind of see here and
Oh,
here,
oh, oh,
and
yeah.
here.
Does she need, did it say gutters or just downspouts? I thought it's,
She says there are gutters and downspouts missing. They're just not there. Is
Well,
what her statement says.
we could approve that they be replaced in kind,
Well,
but in kind,
in kind with what, I don't know. She
if there are
knows.
other gutters there. You can see there's a downspout on the upper right-hand corner.
Right, from the second story.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's clearly a concealed gutter up there.
Correct.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like these could be as well.
I think it looks like it. I agree with you, Mother.
So she doesn't show any, she didn't mark anything that the gutters were missing. I mean, yeah, the gutters.
Right, just downspouts.
But she notes on here that there are gutters that are missing.
Mhm.
So,
Could say approve based on what's used elsewhere or currently existing on the house.
Victoria, I think page 3, or picture 3 rather, shows, you can see, go back please. I think this and this is gutters.
Looks like it. Wonder if there was a corner downspout back when the porch actually was
That's where she drew
continuous.
them, so, right.
looks like they obviously cut some section of that porch off there.
Yeah,
Right.
They took the corner out when it made it to apartments for separate entrances. Yeah, that happened, what,
Well,
10 years ago, so.
Mm.
I think I remember that.
should we make a motion that gutters and downspouts can be replaced provided they are in kind?
I would assume
I
that's
could
true.
concur
Yeah.
with that, and I guess they would use existing downspouts is the point of reference for in-kind, right, just for clarity?
Mhm. And if they need to alter anything, they would have to come back to the
Alter or add.
alter or add.
Listen, if the thinking is that it's gonna be a new downspout outside
Mhm.
of this,
Mhm.
that would not seem appropriate. If there is actually a built-in, like Michael was surmising that it looks like, and it is happening on the second floor.
Okay. I will make a motion that the concrete sidewalk can be replaced in kind. Gutters and downspouts can be replaced in kind, referencing what is existing on the house. Any alterations or additions need to be brought back to the HPC for approval.
Yep. I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion or clarification on that? Hearing none, call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, will show that they may proceed with the gutter work. The second, guess they had a second application to replace broken concrete walkway in the front of the house.
I already approved that.
Oh, you did?
We grouped it in.
Okay, oh,
He's
he's all
did.
together? Okay,
Yeah.
all right, very good. Disregard that then. All right, well, we can move on to, where is my, all right, next item would be 318 Madison Street. So we're just giving Ms. Kuykendall a call?
Would you like someone more familiar with the?
Oh, sure, if you like.
Alright.
This is Cindy.
Hi, Ms. Kuykendall. My name is Chris McSwain. I'm here with the other commissioners for the Historic Preservation Commission in Lynchburg. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Chris?
Excellent, thank you so much. We appreciate your taking the time for our quick meeting here.
Yeah?
Well, I have you on speakerphone so everyone in the room can hear you, and we are going to discuss the work that you are interested in doing at 318 Madison Street. Would you mind just giving us a brief rundown of your certificate of appropriateness?
The most recent one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm getting ready this year to focus on the exterior of my home. And my first project that I need to have done is the roofing. So my house has 5 separate roofs, the slate roof being the main roof. Then there are 4 other smaller metal roofs. So I want to discuss each section if we can.
Sure.
Talk about appropriate materials and any other questions or directives that you guys might offer.
Great. If you like, we can proceed through them one at a time, starting with number 1. If you like, we'll keep it in order, make it simple for everyone.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping.
Excellent.
Okay, so section 1, and I did submit on the 8th of 4 other additional pictures that talk to this section as well as section, I think, 3 and 4.
Okay.
I don't know if those were posted. I was just looking at the action items from my correspondence. But so for section 1, this is what we're going to call the rear lower. It's a flat roof that currently has a material that looks like it might have been used or appropriate for a carport or even maybe like a barn lean-to.
Mhm.
It's not a true standing seam roof. There are 2-foot wide panels that are secured with screws and rivets.
Okay.
So what I was going to ask is if we could remove that and have that roof covered with a black EPDM synthetic rubberized membrane.
Okay.
Do you want me to read through each one of these points in section 1?
Are we approving these one at a time or the whole thing?
Well, it depends how you all like to handle it.
I think we do it all at once.
All at
and-
once.
But speak to each
Address,
of
yeah.
the sections.
Yeah, yeah, we'll make our way through the entire list, and then speak to each section as we go back through.
Okay. So do you want me to move on to section 2?
Yes, ma'am?
Okay, section 2 talks about slate repairs around the chimney on the right side of my house. It's more towards the back or the center of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have some valleys flashing. And the roofer talks about wall covering. The very back of that chimney has a sort of a slight dormer. And on each side of the brick chimney, it's filled in with just boards of plywood. So the roofer would like to cover and seal those with metal, and we can discuss that further as well.
Okay.
Section 3 refers to the rear upper flat roof. It is a metal flat roof, an old metal flat roof, and what we're proposing is to also cover that roof with the EPDM material if possible.
Okay.
Section 4 is the rear upper standing seam metal roof and gutter. Section 4 on my on the roofer's diagram, it is a true standing seam metal roof. It's very old. It does need to be replaced. So we propose to replace that with a true standing seam metal roof.
Mm-hmm.
Section 5 is the front upper gutter and slate roof for slate repair. If you look at the front of my house, on the upper right hand, the far right hand section of the roof that you can see, there's about a 2 or 3 foot section where it has, I believe, asphalt shingle,
Oh,
and the roofer is proposing to just replace that section with slate. And we can talk more about the slate as we talk through further with these different, as we dive into more thorough detail on these sections.
okay.
Section 6 refers to the front porch roof and the built-in gutter. That is a true standing seam roof. It has at least 2 coats of painting that are peeling. I want to say that roof, that front porch roof, was resurfaced maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but it is peeling as well. So we're proposing to replace that with a true standing seam roof.
Okay.
And then number 7 is the chimney cap, which the chimney on the right-hand side of the house, and I was looking over the chimney guidelines regarding the cap. We were proposing, if we could, to cover that chimney, make a cap out of the 20-ounce copper, but we can discuss that further. So we have 6 sections plus the chimney cap.
Okay. Great. All right, let's see.
My only question is on the, did you say the front porch roof was replaced a couple of years ago, or did I
It was
misunderstand?
recoated
Yeah.
or repainted.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
repainted,
it was just recoated.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And if you look at the front corner, you can see a blue area. That is
Oh,
where
yeah.
that coating has begun to peel, and you see where it was painted, I guess, blue at one time.
Is that roof leaking at all?
You know, no, I don't think this roof is leaking. I don't believe this one is.
It's been coated twice, something's going on.
Well, it could be the wrong type of paint. But you're replacing it with a standing seam?
Yes,
Okay.
and the roofer has assured me that it will be the same dimensions or width, and the seam height is as exact or closely as exact as the original.
Okay. I don't see any issue with anything you're proposing. I move that your application be approved as submitted.
I'll second that.
All right, any other discussion regarding the roofing part of the project?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll show that the roof work is all in compliance. You are good to go there. We can move on
All
to
right.
gutters and downspouts.
Okay. So I'm looking through this. I think section 4 talks about specific gutters, does it?
Yes, I believe
We're-
that's
yep.
correct.
We're not replacing any of the gutters. Any proposal, or I think talk about the gutters would be to line those with the EPDM.
Those are all hidden gutters, I assume?
They call it half round.
I think I have a few hidden, yes.
Because it would be appropriate for the hidden gutters, but not for any of the half rounds.
Okay, in the front of the house, there is half round. I'm looking at this picture now. So to line the inside of the half rounds would not be appropriate?
I don't know, typically not.
Typically not, no. There is no reason, it's not that it's not appropriate, there's just really no reason to do that.
Okay,
Usually they'll put the rubber, the EPDM in for hidden gutters so they wouldn't leak. With a half round, it's an exposed gutter that can just be replaced if it leaks.
okay. So the suggestion or directive there would be to replace any of those gutters that need replacing, that might be leaking?
Yes.
Yes, with the same
With,
type.
in kind,
In kind.
half round.
There's no half round there.
Can you say that again?
If any of the gutters are to be
Yeah,
replaced,
it's-
the exposed gutters, they
it's up on
would
the
need to
main
be
roof,
replaced
Emmett.
in kind, so the same type being
Okay.
used.
See it wrapping
All right.
around?
Yeah, yeah. Whoa.
It's where they have the green, actually. Yeah, right there, right, go up, yeah, yep, right there. See, it wraps around to the side there?
It's gable.
Yeah.
We're just looking at some pictures here real quick, Ms. Kuykendall.
All right.
Yeah, they don't look like they're rotting through.
No. Okay, well,
Did you make a motion, Rick?
excuse me?
Did you make a motion on the gutters?
No, I haven't made a motion on anything. So is this the last thing?
Yeah.
No, chimney cap, we still have to talk about chimney cap.
You wanna go ahead, Emmett?
Sure, I'd move that the built-in gutters be approved for lining with EPDM. If any of the half rounds are
Defective?
deteriorated to the point of not working and need to be replaced, that they be replaced in kind. And downspouts
Okay.
as well.
Okay, and downspouts as well. Were you able to hear that, ma'am?
Yes, any of the half rounds that need to be replaced would be replaced in like along with the downspout, is that correct?
That's correct. And the approval of lining the hidden gutters is approved as well.
We have
Okay,
a motion.
perfect.
Well, I'm sorry, motion.
Motion.
So we just have to.
I'll second.
We have to vote on that. We have a second. Any other discussion, questions, comments? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll show that we are good to go on gutters as well. So now we can speak to the chimney cap.
All right. Now, I was looking over your guidelines, and it does say that these should be clay, slate, or stone caps. I received an email with the roofer. We've been corresponding lately, and he is suggesting or asking to fabricate and install the non-vented chimney cap there in the copper. He says that the copper will, how did he put it? It will not discolor, but it will become dull over time, and he felt that it might be acceptable. But again, that copper cap would encase the top of that chimney. How do you do a slate cap?
Do we have that? Where is that? That doesn't make too much sense to me.
Yeah,
what-
slate does.
Yeah. I mean, I think copper is fine.
Or so I'm told.
It may,
Just flat resting
Just a
across
flat
it.
cap on
A
it.
non-vented type.
Yep.
That's what my friend has on his too.
So, Chris, verify that it is a non-functioning chimney.
It's a non-functioning chimney, is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. I don't have any issue with that.
I'm curious though, is this a flat sheet of copper, or is it something raised? How would you see it from the street if it's just a sheet of copper?
It sounded to me, you said it would kind of encapsulate the top, which means it's going to have a threshold that dips over the side, maybe a couple of inches, is that right?
That's what I assumed, but
You'll see a
You just see
band.
the base,
the
okay.
roofer did not specify that it was a flat resting, but I'm sure that he can work with that.
Right.
we-
Closed ends.
I think we might need a little more clarification on that one,
It-
as to
Okay.
exactly what he's proposing and how it would look.
All right.
Yeah, how far it's gonna come down the
I'd like to
side.
note
yeah.
of that.
So,
Am I wrong in saying if you wanted to do a slate cap, we could approve that? But if you're gonna go with something outside of the box, we need more.
well, I think we still need to see what it's, what it's looking like.
Yeah, 'cause
I don't think it would be an issue, I just, we just need to have a little more clarification on that, since we don't have any visible indication of what it might look like.
no sketch.
Or a
Sure.
sketch, yeah, even a sketch would be fine.
All right, I'll request a sketch.
Okay, was that the last item?
That was.
Okay, so I'll move that we approve, well, we already
Yeah,
approved
we've
it?
done it.
Oh,
No,
so,
we
so,
essentially just tabled that one aspect
Okay.
until the next.
so I'll move that we table the request for the chimney cap until we have further information on what the installation would look like.
I'll
Okay,
second.
great. I will request a sketch.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that can be submitted
welcome.
directly to Victoria as well, and correct me if I'm wrong though, but if that were, it may be approved administratively if
what
it
we
meets
just
those
talked about.
guidelines. So it might not necessarily have to come back to us, but that would be Victoria's opportunity to review it at that time when it comes into her.
Okay,
I think we need a
sounds like
second.
a plan.
Did anybody second?
I
Yes,
seconded
yes,
it.
Yeah, we have a second. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Well, Ms. Kuykendall, we thank you so much for your time and wish you the best of luck on this beautiful home.
It will be beautiful.
We look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great week.
Mhm, you too.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
She said she was focusing on the exterior this year. Is she submitted for paint?
Not yet.
Her application said she would after she addressed the roof.
Okay. Start at the top, work your way
Right.
down.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, that concludes the new business, and then we have a discussion as far as updating historical district guidelines pertaining to commercial design guidelines.
This is not so much as a let's sit together and discussion, but more of a, we know that these are outdated, we would like your permission and ask you to brainstorm and think about and review these to see how they could be improved.
For the next meeting?
Maybe for the next meeting, this would probably be a longer process. The reason we're starting with commercial first is that it's shorter and it's less of a beast to tackle than the residential, but our plan is to get there too.
So just for my own clarification, because when this came up, I opened it up, it's like, oh, this is long. Are we doing it top to bottom? Is there a section we're focusing on, or is there, you mentioned something being outdated. Is there specific things that we should address first, or I'm not sure what the approach is to this. So we're gonna come back in and hit all 100 pages or whatever it is.
Well, I certainly would appreciate your input. How I could see it going forward is that staff works on it some and then comes to you for your review and your technical support. I think this would not be a so much we produce and give it to you, but more of a conversation and a back and forth as it gets worked on.
So we should, basically, are we reviewing it to see if we see anything that's,
Yes.
that we think should be changed
Absolutely.
or questioned?
That too.
Okay.
And as we've done with other items, would there be other localities that have recent updates to their similar guidelines that could be downloaded for us to compare?
Yes, that's something I can look for. I know that Lynchburg is both unique and not unique. We're unique in the sense that our architecture can't be replicated, but we're not unique in the time period and the fact that other localities have created guidelines based off of the standard of the Interior, Secretary of Interior standards. But we can certainly get those for you for comparison.
Good point of reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if this sounds all right with you, with your permission, we can move forward and start brainstorming, working on this.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely happy to do it.
And that's all.
Excellent. Does anyone else have anything to add before we adjourn? We are adjourned then.